Hello everybody, something a bit different from my normal videos which are focusing on films. I thought I'd show some of my music collection. I know Sammy G and Stuart George sort of into their music and um, been doing some videos. Not sure if Stuart George has done his, but I know Sammy G's done some, mostly his vinyls. So yeah, obviously I think I've said before I DJ drum and bass, which are kind of like electronic dance music. Used to be sort of known as jungle, evolved into drum and bass. So obviously I've got like a lot of vinyl. If I show you, these are all ones, some of my favourite from the years. Most of these about sort of 12 years ago or so. I've stuck all the covers up on the wall. So some of them, like even if you're not into this genre, Chase's Status, Subfocus, um, Ed Rush and Optical, you might have sort of heard of them. Um, yeah, so I've still got the vinyls and things. Obviously, I've got them in like a little box down there, the actual records themselves, and then put this up. Bit of a decoration, but a bit for inspiration when me and my mate DJ. So do still have the vinyl, but nowadays I do sort of play like USB decks. So it's just so much easier. We can, when I've played out places, you can just take a USB with all the WAVs on, which is like a kind of file, rather than take along all the records and stuff. And obviously, a lot of tracks I buy nowadays don't really even come out on vinyl and stuff anymore. I am thinking of starting to get in some of my favourite albums from like rock and metal and pop and David Bowie, Beatles, Pink Floyd, some of my favourite musicians on record just to sort of listen to, on vinyl, should I say. I've got a vinyl player, it's away in the cupboard. It's really expensive, like DJ Index, but being as I don't DJ vinyl that much, I'm thinking of trading them in. Probably get like 800 quid for them or so, and then buy just a record deck to sort of play my vinyls on, and then spend the money maybe on some more films and stuff. But anyway, won't ramble on too much as I normally do. But yeah, I've got this is going to be in a lot of parts. So I thought first of all I'd show all the Beatles, Pink Floyd, and then maybe a few other ones. These basically won't fit in my normal little CD stack things where they're like weird shapes, but got Please Please Me, the Beatles' first album. I do like this one. There's some standout tracks, but I think a lot of it is covers of like rock and roll songs. Uh, Favorite ones on here. I'll try not to talk about these too long. Is Anna, Please Please Me, Love Me Do You Want to Know a Secret, and There's a Place. All kind of nice ballads. With the Beatles, again, all these early albums, I do like them, but they are a bit more rock and rolly with a lot of covers. I've heard some of the originals, and I do think the Beatles do them better, because I think the originals are usually like a one singing, well, band, but one man singing, whereas the Beatles all harmonise in that to give it a bit more extra depth. Hard Day's Night. I won't talk about favourite songs on every one, just because otherwise it's going to go on too long. I'm sure everybody knows the Beatles. I think this has got a few more they've written themselves. Pretty sure they wrote Hard Day's Night. Can't Buy Me Love. And I'll Be Back. And then, yeah, I'm not sure exactly which ones are covers, but I do like these earlier albums, but I think they sort of get better. They go along as they start writing their own stuff more. Beatles for Sale. I think The Hard Day's Night actually is a soundtrack to a film, maybe. Same as One We'll See Later. Still a lot of covers on this one. Obviously, like Rock and Roll. It's original by Chuck Berry. Yeah, favourite on this, probably I'll Follow the Sun. 8 Days a Week. And What You're Doing. It's a real catchy one. Help. Obviously got Help. I'm sure everybody's heard that. Favourites are probably Ticket to Ride. Act Naturally. I think that's got Ringo singing on that one. There's only a few he's really sung on. I've Just Seen a Face. Yeah, all these songs are good. Most of them are sort of only 2 minutes or so. So I've, like they say, even wanting more. So I find with most Beatles songs, they finish say 2 minutes 30, and then you're ready to listen to them again. Whereas as I get on some of the Pink Floyd, as much as I love some of their songs, they have got some which are like 20 minutes or so. So it's not like you want to listen to it again the very next day. Right, and now we're getting on to I think their sort of golden period. So Rubber Soul. I mean, this is a bit less rock and roll, a bit more, I wouldn't say like a folky kind of elements, but favourite ones on this are Nowhere Man, The Word, Michelle, Girl, I'm Looking Through You, one of my favourites ever, and In My Life, another one of my favourites they've ever done. Yeah, this is when they sort of started reaching their peak, in my opinion. Um, Rubber Soul, probably one of my top three. Individual standout tracks, but I think Revolver is better as an actual coherent album. So yeah, for me, this is their peak. This is my favourite one by them. So you've got obviously lots of track. I like them all really, and it does work well in the flow of an album. But Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping, uh, Here, There, and Everywhere, uh, For No One, and Tomorrow Never Knows, probably my favourites. But uh, Here, There, and Everywhere, and For No One, two of the best sort of ballads ever written, in my opinion. So catchy, so well sung. Um, Really, yeah, I really like the artwork on this. Really worked, like I say, just works well as an album, the way it flows. And this is when they started introducing some world sounds. I think it's called Tomorrow Never Knows. It's got a bit of like sitar. I think they've been on holiday to India with a yogi, and he was teaching them like other types of music and meditation, and that inspired that. This one, I do really like this album. I'm not going to say it's overrated. It is a classic, but a lot of people would say this is their favourite. Whereas, I like every song on this, but yeah, for me, it's just not got the sort of catchiness and sort of ballad writing of Revolver, for example. But yeah, standouts are Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Getting Better, uh, Within You, Without You, which is another bit of a sort of Indian-inspired sitar-y kind of one. Uh, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, Day in the Life, probably the best song on here, really epic. One of the longest sort of songs Beatles have done, where it starts as a kind of rock and rolly one, then sort of gets a bit more epic with like crazy sound effects. Um, yeah, things like see if I can find it. Like I said, I will try not to go on too long. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. Good Morning, Good Morning. And yeah, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It got me a bit more of a circusy kind of feel. What do you call it? Like vaudeville kind of style, maybe. Yeah, I mean, really good front cover. You can see a lot of like famous people on there. Yeah, I won't talk about it too long. I'm sure everybody knows that one. This is one of my favourites. Magical Mystery Tour. I think this was based on a film as well. So the first sort of part is the EP. Fall on the Hill, Your Mother Should Know, and I Am the Walrus. My favourites off of those. This is probably the most psychedelic. You'd think Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band was the most psychedelic, but I think this is a bit more. And then I do prefer this sort of B-sides kind of thing. I think in Japan this was released as like two separate EPs. They put it together, but Hello Goodbye, Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Baby You're a Rich Man I do like, but yeah, the other four, some of the best songs they've done, the really great singles, especially Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields Forever, such a not creepy, what's the word, like surreal, dreamlike. Yeah, I think probably they were stoned on LSD or something when they wrote that. I know around this time is when they started sort of dabbling in their drugs. I think I've got these slightly in the wrong order. Let me put them back. I have tried to put these in the order they were released. I think this is right. White Album, first double disc one. I think this is really their last sort of major album. Glass Onion, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Martha My Dear, I'm So Tired, Blackbird, Julia, Mother Nature's Son, probably my favourite out of all these. Helter Skelter, probably the first sort of proto, I wouldn't say metal, but really heavy kind of track for back in the late 60s. Honey Pie. A few of these are really experimental, like Revolution 9, just a load of noises put together, a bit more of like a Aphex Twin almost. Yeah, really progressive album, but I do think it is a bit more hit and miss. There's quite a few, no tracks I don't like, but it's not as cohesive. I think if this was done as one disc with certain tracks, or at least to my favour, then this would be one of their best and just all killer, no filler. Whereas, yeah, over the two discs, there is a few. I don't think it's the most consistent one. Maybe my third favourite out of all of theirs, Abbey Road. It's I think this was their last one. I don't know if it's recorded kind of when they were splitting up, when they fell out and they didn't like Yoko Ono being on all the recording sessions and things. But yeah, Come Together, classic. Something, probably the best song George Harrison's written, in my opinion. Octopus's Garden, quite a weird kind of, bit like, what do you call it? More of a, not a children's song, but a bit like Yellow Submarine kind of style. Um, Here Comes the Sun, I do like, but not one of my favourites. Um, then this Sun King, Mean Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam, all, and She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight is all like a kind of medley. So like sort of 6 tracks that all flow together. Really good ones. Golden Slumber is probably my favourite out of those. The End and Her Majesty, yeah, sort of works really well. Iconic kind of front cover. I think I've ever actually been to Abbey Road. But yeah, I mean, they've all got really good standout songs and singles. But yeah, I think Rubber Soul, Revolver. No, actually, probably Magic Mystery Machine is my third favourite over that. But yeah, those are my top. This one I don't enjoy as much. It's more of a soundtrack to the actual film. So it obviously has the Yellow Submarine song. Hey Bulldog's pretty good song. All You Need Is Love. A more main, what would you call it, like conventional songs, whereas Pepperland, Sea of Time, Sea of Holes, Sea of Monsters, March of the Meanies, more kind of instrumental kind of tracks out of the film. I don't think I've actually seen the film. I have got a little thing I'll show you to do with that in a sec when I go in the other room. I was meant to bring it out, but I forgot. And you've got Let It Be, which is released after their after they broke up, I think, sort of recordings once they finished. Yeah, standouts on this: Across the Universe, Let It Be, The Long and Winding Road. I think those 3 are amazing. Some of the best songs they've written. They're all good. Like I say, there's not really any Beatles songs I can't stand. Revolution 9 probably the worst, where it's just like number 9 in this weird robotic voice and then sounds and just all pastiche together. Past Masters. So this is obviously like a compilation of a lot of their singles and things. So Love Me Do, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, She's a Woman, Day Tripper, really like that one. Paperback Writer, really like that. Lady Madonna, Rain's pretty good. Hey Jude, sure everybody knows that. Revolution, Don't Let Me Down, Across the Universe, amazing song. Let It Be. Yeah, I think this does have some that you can sort of get on other compilations of things. And then this one is Paul McCartney solo. Shit, I think I got it the wrong way up. Yeah, so on this, Alligator, New, Road, probably my favourite ones. Yeah, I think, is it Save Us? Oh yeah, Save Us is really good. Save Us or Alligator is on, I think it's Despicable Me 2. One of those films, and it works really well on the sort of colourful like scenes they show. I was going to do it on the Beatles, but I'll get through these quickly so I don't do it in too many separate parts. But Pink Floyd, so sure everybody knows these, psychedelic prog rock band. This is their first album when they had Sid Barrett. I think he only was on really 2 albums, Sid Barrett, sorry. Favourites on this, Astronomy, Domini, Interstellar Overdrive. This had Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun on, but that must be on the Saucerful of Secrets. Matilda Mother, probably the best one. Yeah, this is really bizarre prog. I think they were all on LSD. I think Sid Barrett took too much LSD and sort of broke his own mind. And that's why he ended up leaving the band. I thought I had these in... No, I haven't, sorry. I thought I had these in chronological order, but... So this is a classic, sure everybody knows this. Some of the best production I've heard on this album. Favourites, probably Time, The Great Gig in the Sky. Money, amazing production on that. Us and Them, Brain Damage, really creepy kind of song. But yeah, it just works really well. All the songs stand out on their own. Like Money is a single. I used to always hear that when I went in the arcade as a kid. With like the till register chinging noises and stuff. Worked really well. But yeah, it works better really as a sort of cohesive compilation. As a sort of whole album. Wish You Were Here, probably my favourite one by them. It's only really 5 songs, but Shine On You, Crazy Diamonds, part 1 to 5 is 15 minutes. Welcome to the Machine, about 11. Have a Cigar, and Wish You Were Here, probably around 8 or 10. Shine On You Crazy Diamonds, Part 690, Gig Back 10. So even though it's only got 5 songs, it is about 40, 50-minute album. Favourite on here, Welcome to the Machine, Wish You Were Here. Shine On You Crazy Diamonds is written about Syd Barrett after he'd sort of left the band and he wasn't very well and things. I think he came into one of their studio sessions and he'd like had no hair and sort of put on weight and they didn't recognise him until they spoke to him. Um, yeah, Welcome to the Machine. When I was younger, me and my mates used to listen to that, and we'd sort of be sat in the room. And when you close your eyes, literally, I've never known a song that just takes you away, or maybe actually, Quarter by Led Zeppelin, but just close your eyes. It really, the sound effects and the style of it, and the sort of space stoner rock just really takes you to another place. And there's some synths where as they rise, you really feel like your brain's being lifted out of your body, or at least we did. To be fair, we were sort of stoned when we was like 17 listening to this, so I guess that adds to the kind of feeling. Animals, this has never been one of my favourites, but Sheep, Dogs probably the best songs on there. Really good, what do you call it, like theme, kind of commentary on politics and kind of based slightly on, pigs from George Orwell book Animal Farm, which I think there was a cartoon I haven't seen. Yeah, it's a good solid album, but not my favourite. Atom Heart Mother, really weird one, this. One of my least favourites by them, really. I think it's quite what do you call it? I think Fat Old Son is the best one, but yeah, one of the most. I mean, they've always been experimental, but one of them more. I think each band member got a chance to like write a song on it, so some weird stuff. I think this is the sort of one just before Dark Side of the Moon, so it kind of you can tell where their style was changing. Probably favourite is What's the Deal. Stay, Obscured by Cloud. Yeah, again, not one of my favourite. They're all good to listen to and good atmosphere. And if you're trying to relax, close your eyes with headphones on, it all sounds amazing. But yeah, not the most standout songs. This is probably one of my other top 3 favourites. So One of These Days, really crazy. Sounds weird, but the intro with the gliding synths and the sort of messed up voice reminds me of Doctor Who. San Tropez, really nice summery one. Echoes, amazing. It's like a sprawling epic, it's like 15 minutes long. Got some really dark, creepy bits. I guess this was out before The Shining. Maybe The Shining soundtrack was influences. There's a bit where it basically sounds like seagulls, and they're like really like a cacophony of seagulls, sort of out of tune. But the intro to The Shining kind of atmosphere of it, as it starts and the cinematography is like gliding across the scenery as the car is winding its way up to the mountains, really reminds me of the bit out of Echoes. But yeah, so it's most of the song is really nice, cerebral, sort of floaty music, and then there's just a really creepy kind of anxiety-inducing kind of section, which adds to the song in the way that once the nice bits come back in, it just sounds so much more nicer and relaxing. Another one of my least favourites, probably. I mean, like I said, I like all of these, but if I was to rank them, it doesn't have as many standout songs. I think this is one of the last ones, really. Obviously, Roger Waters, I think, was writing the songs by this point. But yeah, Learning to Fly, Round and Around, New Machine, probably my standout ones. Pink Floyd, The Wall. This was really Roger Waters taking over and writing all the songs. It's a concept album, one of the best concept albums I've heard. Good singles on it, like Another Brick in the Wall and Comfortably Numb. But yeah, favourites, probably Another Brick in the Wall, Mother, Goodbye Blue Sky, Young Lust, quite a sort of funky one. Hey You, really creepy, sort of really well written song. Is There Anybody Out There? Really spooky. I won't go on too long, but there was I remember when we were kids, we had this thing in PE where we'd they put like a record on and it was like a story and you'd act to it. So it was meant to be like where aliens would come in, you'd have to hide, then you'd run, then you'd like jump into the corner. So it got you to do your exercises. But there was a bit where it played the creepy "Is There Anybody Out There" noises, and we all thought it was scary as kids. And it wasn't until I listened to this when I was like 17, when I was like, bloody hell, they were playing us Pink Floyd when we were like 5 years old and running around in our vest and pants, and we didn't even realise. So yeah, the teachers must have enjoyed that. Run Like Hell, another quite a funky one. Comfortably Numb, really amazing song. I think that's to do with like being on heroin or something. Right, I'll speed up a bit because this video is getting on very long. Division Bell. I think this is back. Roger Waters had sort of stepped aside a bit and let David Gilmour write a lot of these tracks more. Marooned. Uh, High Hopes. Keep Talking. Keep Talking's got a sample from Stephen Hawking at the start. But yeah, High Hopes, amazing. One of the most nostalgic. Not just to me, because I didn't really hear this as a kid, but just the way it's writ about when they were kids and they'd meet in the summer, and then yeah, as you get older, everything sort of fades. Yeah, not one of my favourites, but really powerful. Echoes, which is the greatest hit. See Emily Play. Jug Band Blues. Arnold Lane, I think, are only on a kind of compilation, which is quite sort of hard to get nowadays. But yeah, obviously that was the first one I really got, just to hear all their different songs, and then started buying the albums. But yeah, all the classics are on that one. And then this is their newest. It's quite a few years ago, but yeah, David Gilmour, quite a lot of instrumentals, more of a nice listening piece than any standout songs. Yeah, I'll talk about the rest in another video. Hopefully this ain't on too long, and yeah, I just thought I'd do something different. So thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.